In arithmetic, one of the operations that we perform is what's called long division. Now, division, of course, generally is just the process of undoing multiplication. But when we multiply two whole numbers, well, we multiply together every pair of digits when we multiply two large whole numbers. And in the process, the digits get kind of tangled up together. For example, if I were to multiply 217 times 34, first I would multiply each digit in 217 by 4. Then I would multiply each digit in 217 by 3. And then I would add together those results. In dividing, then, my result here, 7,378 by 34, we need to somehow get back the 217. We need to somehow untangle those digits. The process we use to do that is called long division. Long division is the only one of the basic operations of arithmetic in which we proceed from left to right instead of right to left. And what we do in the long division process is to guess the successive digits of the answer, or the quotient. How do we do that? Well, we look at this number that we're dividing up, the dividend, and we look at the dividend one digit at a time. This number I'm dividing into this is called the divisor. So I'm going to look at the digits of the dividend and compare them to the divisor. So this first digit, this 7, if I have 7 things, can I make a group of 34? No, I really can't. So I say 34 goes into 7 0 times. I can just go on and work with the 3. So now I'm looking at 73. 34 goes into 73, well, at least once. Can it go in twice? Well, if I have groups of 34, and I take 2 of them, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6. Yes, it can go in twice. Can it go in 3 times? If I have groups of 34 and I take 3 of them, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 3 is 10. No, that's too much, right? I only have 73. So 34 goes into 73 twice. That uses up 68 things. Now I have 5 left. Okay. Now I can move on to my next digit. Next I'm going to look at the 7, bring that down and put it after the 5. 34 goes into 57. Well, twice is too much. 34 goes into 57 only once, because that's less than 68. So 34 goes into 57 once, using up 34 things. And now we have 23 left. And finally we go on to consider the 8. Bring that down, put it after the 23. Now we have 238. And we need to guess how many times does 34 go into 238. Now, I say I'm guessing. I actually already know because of the way that I made up this problem. So I'm going to take a very lucky first guess of 7. Right? If I take 34, 7 groups of 34. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 3 is 21. So 23. Oh wow, look at that, 238. So 34 goes into 238 7 times, and nothing's left over. So that process is called long division. And the reason that it happens in that kind of weird sort of way is that we are untangling the digits that got tangled up when we multiplied. Now, of course, something can go wrong in division. Not every group can be evenly divided into whatever size you want. For example, if we were to divide 150 by 7, what would that long division look like? We'll write 7 outside of the division bracket, 150 inside. We'll look at one digit at a time. 7 goes into 1. No, it doesn't. If I have one thing, I can't make any groups of 7. 7 goes into 15 then, twice. Right, if I have 15 things, I can make 2 groups of 7, because 2 times 7 is 14. Only one thing left over. Now we go to the next digit, the 0. If I have 10 things, I can only make one group of 7. And I have 3 things left over. What do we do with that? Well, we have some choices. One of the things that we can do with that 3 is just have it left over. And if we choose that option, we call 3 a remainder. Another option is to somehow split 3 up, take our 3 things and split them into 7 parts, which is how we get the fraction 3/7. And the third option is to just continue this long division process and get a decimal. We'll revisit options 2 and 3 later, but sometimes option 1, sometimes having our remainder just remain is what we want. If we choose option 1, if we choose to just report 3 as a remainder, we would report our result as 21, the letter R standing for remainder, 3. We refer to this format as quotient and remainder. Why? Well, there's the quotient, 21. Remember, that's the result of the division. And that's the remainder, 3. So when we report our result as quotient and remainder, that means we say the quotient, we say R to tell the people reading that we're introducing a remainder, and then we say the remainder.